Welcome to the Crunch Time YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the Phoenix Suns and how I think their series versus the Lakers is basically over and they don't really stand a chance to win the series at all. So let's get right into it. The Phoenix Suns started out 1-0 against the Lakers as they won last weekend, and that was a pretty big game for him. Booker stepped up. Ayton played like how many expected he would as the number one overall pick a few years ago. Role players were hitting shots. This was the beginning of Cameron Payne playing really well, and he's done that, I think, the whole series up to this point. But it's really been downhill from there. Game 2, Anthony Davis definitely stepped it up as Ayton basically had won the matchup over him in Game 1. Game 2 is a little bit of a different story. AD definitely stepped it up. LeBron played a lot better. LeBron did get a little hurt at the end of Game 1, but the major reason is Chris Paul got hurt in the beginning of Game 1, and he does not look anything like Chris Paul. He has not been able to pass, not been able to shoot. He can't do anything as efficiently as he has been doing basically throughout his career. He has almost been a non-factor ever since he got hurt, and that is a major reason why I think the Suns don't really have a chance to win. Now, moving on from Chris Paul getting injured and that whole situation, the Lakers are still up 2-1, and that is very impressive considering how bad their shooting has been from a few of their key players. From off the top of my head, I know Kuzma, KCP, and Wesley Matthews have all had abysmal series so far. Luckily for them, Dennis Schroeder is stepping up big time. Marc Gasol is also hitting some big shots for them whenever they play him rotationally. That team does have a lot of bigs. I don't think Harrell even plays anymore just because he found his way out of a rotation. Because you have AD who can play center and who probably should be playing center a majority of the time at the end of games. Just because Andre Drummond, he can be a liability on offense and defense, and then Marc Gasol is not the type of center you want guarding DeAndre Ayton on defense. Now, while the series, the Suns still have a chance, obviously. At the point of this recording, they're only down 2-1, and who knows, maybe Chris Paul is able to recover very well off of a 2-3 day break, but the reason I just don't think this makes a difference is just the factors of the Lakers have had so many bad players, or players play bad, that there's still a lot of room for improvement for them, where I just don't see that for the Suns. Booker and Ayton have been playing very well to this point. Even Cameron Payne, who I said earlier, he's been doing pretty well too. And when there's so many players on your team doing well, especially your 2 out of your 3 best players, it's just very difficult to see, especially when their role players, other than Jay Crowder, haven't been doing too bad. But when there's Kyle Kuzma, who's been doing bad, KCP, and Wesley Matthews, those are 3 role players on the Lakers who play a lot of big minutes. Like, KCP starts at shooting guard for them. And Kuzma, he's off the bench. Same with Wesley Matthews. They both get a decent amount of minutes. And if they are able to just step it up even a little bit, like the Lakers were up 20 against the Suns in Game 3 before they started doing random stuff at the end of the game. LeBron looks like he's doing pretty well from his ankle injury, and I don't think there's anyone on this Suns team that can really defend LeBron. Crowder has been doing his best, which has still been pretty bad. And talking about Jay Crowder, just how disappointing he's been this series. Feels like every time he takes a shot, you just know it's going to go out. He's been very frustrating to watch as not even a Phoenix fan. But it feels like you just can't trust on him to do anything. He's just a liability on offense. Now, the winner of this series plays the winner of Portland Denver, which is still up in the air at this point. Both are very streaky teams to say. Nuggets don't have Jamal Murray. And the Blazers are just a weird team in general. But I think if either of these two teams win, they'll be able to win in the second round. So the Lakers will more than likely be in the conference finals without playing a healthy Phoenix Suns team, which really made it a lot easier for them. And then neither of the Nuggets or the Blazers or all that. So, just looking in the future here, the Bucks have swept the Miami Heat, which means they'll probably be playing Brooklyn, and this will be a very interesting series. Not to move too on far now, but the Lakers don't have the most difficult road with an injured Chris Paul, as the Suns just don't have their leader at this point, and we know how important playoff experiences is in the playoffs. Look at how bad the Knicks have been struggling. Now, the Hawks don't have the most experience either, but the Knicks, look at very young players, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle. They both have been selling quite hard, actually, as the Knicks' only source of offense that's been consistent this series is D Rose. And he is too old at this point to be your only consistent player on a playoff team. So we see that I don't think Devin Booker and many of these young players, if any of these teams like the Mavericks, the Celtics, the Hawks, Knicks, if they played the Lakers, I don't think they have a chance to win. Just because if you don't have a good leader like a Chris Paul, healthy, who's also very good defensively, great playmaker, all that, if you don't have that against the Lakers, as well as a Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, it's not looking very good for you. This is a very good Lakers team, and you need a lot of firepower to beat them. So, this is my take on the whole situation with Phoenix, and this is why I don't think it's a great outlook for them, just this playoffs. Hopefully next year, Chris Paul, who I believe is a free agent, not 100% sure about that, hopefully he is able to be healthy next year, because I really thought they had a very good shot at winning the finals this year, at least making a run. Like, this Lakers series, before Chris Paul got hurt, this is probably going to be the best series in the entire playoffs. That was also fought with Bucks Heat, but we all saw how that went out. Hopefully Chris Paul, he's able to get a lot healthier, and this can live up to the hype, but I just don't have a ton of confidence in that. So let me know what your thoughts are on this video, what you disagree with, what you agree with. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.